Good morning, boys and girls. Today is May the 20th, Wednesday, May the 20th. This is going to be our last lesson for the school year because on Thursday, tomorrow, you're just going to have fun Thursday. So basically, today's the last lesson, all right? So we're going to talk about, today is social studies, and we're going to talk about Indians. The Indians. This is Native American Indians. Okay, Indians from this country. I'm sure there was Indians from in other countries, but that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, get your papers and pencils ready, and we're going to get started. I've got some little dry erase boards, and I'm going to go over some things with you. Don't have to worry about this right now. We're going to start with the dry erase board. So listen, and then you're going to write. Okay, one of the first things that you need to understand and know, hey, how did we come up with the name Indians? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. Do you remember the man who discovered America in 1492? What was his name? Started with a C, and his last name started with a C also. His name was Christopher Columbus. Okay? He was looking for India. He was trying to find a passage through the oceans to India, where they had linens and spices and all kinds of things. Well, you know what? He got lost, Christopher Columbus, and he ended up in what's called now the Americas, which is the United States of America. All right, and because he thought he had found India, when the people that were here came to greet them on the shores, he called them Indians. Okay, and that's where the word here in this country comes from, Indians. Okay, so I want you to write that down. I want you to write down Indian, and that term came from Christopher Columbus when he thought he had discovered India. Okay. Where did the Indians come from to begin with that were here in this country? Were they always here? Well, according to information and research, they came from Asia. And they came across from Asia. They crossed between Russia and Alaska. It's called the Bering Strait. Okay? It's called the Bering Strait. And the thing about it is, back in those days, there was actually land to where they could travel across. Okay, so they came across from Asia, they crossed between Russia and Alaska, and then the next bullet there, it says different languages and different cultures, which means the Indians that came across all had different languages. Many of them had different languages and cultures. Of course, language means how you talk to somebody. And then culture means how, the things that we do, the habits, the songs, the music, the clothes that we wear, the jewelry that we wear, the things, those are our cultures, okay? And then we had a lot of Indians come over, okay? And you see the word nomadic on the very bottom? What does nomadic mean? It means that a lot of these Indians would move around. They moved following animals. Some of the Indians that came into the United States, present-day United States, were nomadic. They moved all over the country following animals that they would hunt and kill and eat and use their skins for clothing. Okay? So I've given you some information about that. We've got some more things to go over, so you can pause this and write the first portion. Okay? So pause it now and write. Thank you. Okay? Now, the next part is time to work. Let's go. Forgot to ring that bell. Okay, so a lot of the Indians were nomadic, and they would travel all over following animals as the animals migrated back and forth across this country from warm weather to cold weather. The animals were following the grass where the grass was growing, and the Indians were following the animals because that provided food and shelter and clothing and all kinds of things, okay? However, some Indians decided to be farmers. And what do farmers do? Well, the Indians that were farming, they raised, and you can copy this too, pause it. The farmers raised crops and animals, somewhat domestic animals, okay? And then the next bullet says, in Central and South America, we also had Indians that were called Aztec, Maya, and Inca. They were very large cities that where the Aztec, Maya, and Inca lived, and they had governments. Okay, so they were very civilized. Okay, and you can still go back and do some reading about the Aztec, the Mayan, and the Incan cultures, and they were very, very intelligent, very they adapted very well to everything that was around them. Okay, and so you can go back and do some more reading on them later, but I want you to write that down. Okay, some Indians were farmed and raised animals, and like I said, some of the Indians that got way past the United States and went into the South and Central America, they built large cities and they had governments. Okay, so I want you to pause it and write this down. Okay, still got some more information for you. All right, so I put Indians up here. I hope you can see it. Indians. And I know we got reflection up here and some from the lights and my other little light over there, but that's the best I can do, okay? And you need to be doing your best too. Let's finish off a really good lesson. Let's have a good day, and you got the whole summer to take it easy and enjoy, okay? All right, so here we go. U.S. Indians, after they came into this country, a lot of Indians did hunting and fishing, okay? They hunted animals, they fished, they learned how to what? They learned how to live off the land, okay? Mr. Vella's done some hunting, and I've done some fishing, and I like eating what I hunt, and I like eating what I catch, okay? I enjoy those kinds of foods, outdoor foods, okay? You may not, but I do, okay? But I haven't hunted in a long time, and it's been almost as long since I've gone fishing. So it's something that I need to do, maybe this summer, okay? I'll tell you stories as things happen, okay? All right. We also had, you see the bullets here, each one is very important. We had the Pueblo and the Navajo. They came into this country and they lived in the desert. The desert areas like in the Arizona and New Mexico area, and that's where they ended up settling, okay? And you can still find some of the buildings and structures that they made. All right, and let me see here. The Sioux Indians, that you pronounce that Sioux, it's S-I-O-U-X. The Sioux Indian, where they hunted bison and large animals. What's a bison? What's another word for bison? Come on, tell me. What's another word for bison? It also starts with a B. Okay, what is it? Buffalo. Buffalo and bison means the same thing. Okay, same animal. Okay, then you have the Iroquois Indian. The Iroquois were also a very cultured and very organized. Okay, they had 6 nations, and I say 6 nations. They must have had 6 very huge tribes, and they were very tied together, and they worked together and all that. Okay, they worked so well together they came up with the Great Law of Peace. The Great Law of Peace was rules to follow, how to get along. If something happens, how do you figure out, who's right and who's wrong? Kind of like judges and courts. Okay, they called it the Great Law of Peace, and some people say that the Constitution of the United States had some of the same ideas as this did from the Iroquois Indians. So something good to remember. Okay. Then, I can see I misspelled something up here. All right, this is Alaska. Alaska. Oops, I still messed it up. Okay, let me try it all over again. Alaska. Okay, Alaska. The Inuit, the Yupik, and the Tlingit Indians live in Alaska, and many of them still do. They live in Alaska. And they do a lot of what? Fishing and hunting. Okay, those are hard names to say, but just write them down. We'll work on pronouncing them later, okay? All right, so these are Indians also, and some of those Indians are still in the area of Alaska, all right? You have many tribes that are gone now, many tribes that are gone. So what happened to them, okay? If they came in, tens of thousands, about 10,000 years ago was when they crossed the Bering Strait between Russia and Alaska. Well, why are they gone? Some died because of disease. The excuse me, the settlers that came in and the people that were looking for new lands, the Spanish, the Mexican, and even settlers brought in a lot of diseases that the Indians had never been exposed to, and that killed a lot of Indians also. Okay, they had very poor living conditions. They didn't have air conditioning, they didn't have heating, they didn't have clean water and fresh water, and they didn't have refrigerators to keep their food cold, and sometimes it would spoil. So all of the modern conveniences weren't there, so they had very poor living conditions. And then another reason they're gone is because they were fighting with settlers and soldiers. Okay, they were fighting with settlers trying to take their land. The soldiers were moving them away, and they were fighting. So many of them died fighting for their country, for their land. They were here first. Okay, so and now there's many Indians that live on reservations. You call them Indian reservations, special places in the United States where Indians live and can continue to live the way they want to live, follow their culture and things of that nature. Okay, this is land that's been given to them finally, by the government. All right, so that's all about Indians. You've got some different kind of Indians and what they did, different tribes, how they survived. So you need to know these little things. Hey, things weren't always easy as they are now. And I hope you got something out of this. I want you to enjoy your day, enjoy your summer, be good to yourself, have fun. And real soon, hopefully real soon, we will see each other in the new school year, okay? Once we know what's going to happen and how everything's going to work out. But moms and dads will be informing you. And I'm going to say this, I'm not going to be doing videos every day. I've got about 40 plus videos on YouTube right now, and you can continue to watch those videos as you want. They're not going to erase them. I might add a video here and there depending upon what I'm doing, and if I feel something that I'm doing is interesting and you might want to know or might want to see this. But at this point, I don't have a whole lot of plans. I don't have vacation plans and all that. Mr. Bell is going to do a lot of exercising this summer, and hopefully when we see each other again, maybe I'll be a little bit lighter, okay? Now, come on, take it easy now. I'm trying to take care of myself, okay? And I'm going to do the best I can, and hopefully we'll get to see each other soon. Moms and dads, you got my phone number and email address. I will continue to check my school emails all summer. Text me or call me, as long as it's not too late at night. You have my numbers, and stay in touch. And with that in mind, have a wonderful summer. Take care, and God bless, and we'll see you real soon.